Live on Florida Home Deals Radio Show, your weekly real estate tip with host Myra Eagle of eXp Realty and special guest David Young of Cardinal Financial.
Hello, everybody. It's Friday, and this is Myra Eagle with eXp Realty, and over there's David.
Good morning, everybody.
What you doing today, David?
Well, I'm wearing my camping shirts. It's got like a little fishing thing on there, right?
This is my weekend shirt.
You and me both. No suits today. It's Friday. So,
no cash. Okay, everybody, I have Don't Take No for an Answer. I have a free book. Comment below. Give us a call. We'll get the book to you while supplies last.
I love it.
This is Think You Can't Get a Mortgage by Matt Huffman. Hey, you never know. There might be some tips and tricks in there for you guys. So what you got for us today, David?
Something that a lot of people have been bumping into for the last couple of months, and especially last week as the housing market's just going bonkers, is they're like, how do I get my offer approved, right? And we got a whole list of things that we can do to help you get an offer approved. But I thought I'd boil it down to just a couple or a few of them so that, they're quick and easy. And so, the challenge is when when a seller puts their house in the market right now, they're getting so many offers. It's just crazy the amount of offers that they're getting. And so they have to decide, they have to look at your offer compared to the rest, right? And there are cash buyers, but cash buyers are the most flaky. Like they'll jump out, in a heartbeat, and they typically want to lowball your house, right? Then the next end of the spectrum would be your robo pre-qualified person, right? Where they just put their name, phone number, and email address onto some crappy website, and they got this approval letter, and it's worth less than the paper it's printed on, right? Yeah, it was like instant email to them, right? So that's the kind of the other end of the spectrum. And the problem is a lot of the sellers don't know the difference, right? And they don't know, what's a good offer, what's a bad offer, right? And that's why they, need a good agent like you to discern what the difference is between them. But, a lot of people these days want to go to that website that they saw during a Super Bowl ad, and they want to apply, right? And then they're frustrated and angry when, their loan doesn't go through and they lose their earnest money deposit, right? Well, a human never looked at it. It was some robo thing, right? And like we had a client today. On paper, he looks great. When we dug into his tax returns, he claimed a loss on his business. He doesn't qualify for anything, but thankfully we caught it, right? He's got an approval letter from other companies, but we caught it so he didn't lose his earnest money. Does that make sense?
Good. Yep. That's what you're there for. Exactly.
So I would say, right, if you want to get your offer accepted, don't get the robo pre-qual letter.
No. Don't
even get the regular pre-qual letter, right? And don't even get a pre-approval. A pre-approval is the difference in they pulled the credit and maybe you've sent in some docs, right? It's gone through an automated underwriting system, maybe a Fannie or Freddie, but it hasn't actually seen a decision maker yet.
You're still not qualified.
Right? So trick number one is get the conditional approval letter. Now, all lenders offer it, but basically how it works is you get all of your docs together, you have everything ready to go, you've submitted it all to the lender, it's gone through underwriting, like the actual human underwriter, not some like machine somewhere, right? The underwriter says, yes, find a house. And then you are just as good as a cash buyer at that point. And here's the thing, you're probably going to be more serious than a cash buyer, because I was a cash buyer back in the day when I was house flipping, and I'd put offers on 10 different homes and I'd get them accepted because I was a cash buyer, right? And I'd be like, I'll take home 1 and 4. And then the rest I would just I would have my 10-day option period, and I would exercise that for $100. I was like, it was worth it to me because I could lowball a bunch of places at once and then get the one, two, or I think the most I ever bought at one time was 3 accepted, right? So if you're a conditionally approved buyer, you're better than a cash buyer.
And
Isn't that cool?
Can we close on that?
What's that?
How fast can we close on that?
Usually a couple weeks. The one thing that we're waiting for is that appraisal to come back. Some appraisals come back sooner. Some appraisers, if it's like a very rural area, appraisals are taking longer. So it could take 3, maybe even 4 weeks. But as soon as that appraisal comes back, we're good to close within 3 to 5 days after that.
That's good. That's great timing to get your financing, your ducks in a row, get the home that you want, place the offer in, and close. Close just as fast as a cash buyer.
Exactly. And to expedite the process, if you're putting more than 20% down, you might be able to get a property inspection waiver where you don't even need an appraisal. We've been getting those on purchase loans. Isn't that crazy, Myra? Like, no appraisal needed on a purchase loan. If somebody's buying in a hot market with enough money down, it's crazy.
So you don't have to pay that additional $300 to $500 for an appraisal.
At least
more down.
Some of these appraisers are charging $600 and $800 now. So because they can, because it's supply and demand. Why not? Why not make a couple extra $100? It's crazy.
And they get the number in their back pocket, don't they?
Yeah, exactly. So I would say that's lesson number 1, get conditionally approved, right? Lesson number 2, and this is going to seem obvious, right? You got to work with a professional, right? There is a realtor that one of my friends is working with, and I told him, let's find you a different realtor, not to be a jerk or anything, but this particular realtor has never closed on a house. Now, he brags that he is awesome and all this other stuff, and his Facebook would suggest otherwise, but I can literally pull his numbers, and he hasn't closed on the house in at least 12 months, because I can see like the last 12 months. And he's asking some really ridiculous questions. And I'm concerned for my friend because my friend's going to contract on something that he shouldn't be contracting on. Now, I can't give real estate advice because I'm only a licensed realtor, right? But I know we finance so many homes, I can tell if something's good and something's bad, right? And he's just not in a good situation. It's not that this realtor is being a jerk. It's just the realtor just wants to get paid, so he's going to throw my buddy into whatever, right? And the realtor just doesn't know how to negotiate, write a good contract that protects the buyer. And so I got to walk that fine line because I can't give real estate advice. So the best thing I can do is tell people work with a professional like Myra, because, and not that I'm just plugging Myra, but I mean, it's the truth. Like, there's so many amateurs out there and you're making the biggest financial transaction of your life. And just because they have a real estate license doesn't mean that they know anything about what they're doing. Would you go to a doctor that's never performed a surgery? Or do you want to go to the doctor that has done the same surgery that you're getting 1,000 times, right? I mean, that's the difference.
Find an agent that can work with creative financing, work with making creative offers. Well, let's do it this way. And that can break out the gray areas in a contract and make sure that you are covered in all avenues. That's very, very important.
Yes, exactly.
If your agent forgets the washer and dryer in that contract offer that you signed, who's going to pay for the washer and dryer that you wanted?
Yeah. Or if you got an agent that lets a finance or doesn't even put in a finance contingency and you get turned down for the loan, you're out your earnest money deposit. Or they don't put in an inspection in there, and the inspection comes back and they've got termites so bad that the house needs to be tented. What are you going to do? The cost is on you because you didn't have a professional agent watching your back. right?
With all those disclosures and amendments, addendums,
Not to
all
mention,
terms and conditions that we have been trained to provide to our buyers and sellers.
not to mention, he's offering 30, maybe 40 grand over list, and probably about 50 grand more than it's going to appraise for. Not that I'm a licensed appraiser, right? And no contingency, no appraisal contingency in there. And my buddy doesn't have the difference in funds. So that means if this home doesn't appraise, and I won't go into any more details than that, but it's in rough condition too. But he just loses his $5,000 earnest money deposit. Bam! I mean, that's it. Gone. That's a costly mistake for using an amateur. And I try to explain this to the realtor, because I'm not licensed to explain it to my buddy, right? And he's like, no, man, I'm a realtor. I'm a realtor. I was like, dude, that doesn't mean anything. You haven't closed on any homes. I'm trying to help you. Let me help you, help me. Well, realtor, I'm a realtor. It's like his ego's up here, but his skill set is like non-existent. So anyways, use a professional realtor. Not to go off on a tangent with that. I'm a little frustrated because my buddy's about ready to get screwed. You know what I'm saying? So you got to use a good realtor.
You gave it a good try.
I did everything I could legally do as a friend. But you know how it is. Sometimes people just want to use their buddies and they don't really care. It's kind of like, I don't know. Anyhow, I digress. Third topic, right? So here's the thing. A lot of people are going out and they're looking at 5 houses like we did before. And they go back and they say, oh my gosh, Myra, I really liked house number 3. Well, we looked at that 2 days ago and that's already gone.
Ding dong. Yep.
Right? So here's the trick, right? Just because you offer on something doesn't mean you have to buy it. If it's 70% of what you want, put down an offer on it, right? And it's got to be above list. There are no good deals in this market. We told you about the good deals 6 months ago. They're gone right now.
Right. Yes.
So right now you have to bid over list to be able to even have a shot at it, right? So bid on that house, because if everything else you find is only like 40% of what you want, at least you got something that's 70% of what you want. And you can, over the next year, make that house a home and make it, 80, 90, 100% of what you want. Does that make sense?
It's very, very aggravating for a buyer to fall in love with a home, but they want to go home and sleep on it. And tomorrow when they're ready to offer, it went in.
It's gone.
My time wasted your time, and you just lost the home that you really, really liked.
It takes 20 minutes to write an offer. Or not even. Myra is so fast at it, she'd probably get it done sooner than that, right? Just let's just throw down an offer and keep looking, right? You've got 10 days option period. Just throw down an offer, keep looking. If you don't find anything else that you love, get it, because heck, if it's 50% of what you love and the market's going up and you're renting, you might as well just buy it and then sell it for 10 grand more than you bought it for 6 months from now when you find your dream house. You know what I'm saying? Like, it makes more sense than renting right now to just buy anything, because the prices are going up with no end in sight. And people are like, oh, that's just a housing bubble like 2005 and 2000. No, it's not, because not to get too technical, but the American dollar is going down, right? Things that used to be worth $100,000, like gold. Gold doesn't go up. Everybody's like, buy gold, buy gold. Gold's going up. Gold it's not going up. The value of the dollar is going down. When you're giving away trillions of dollars, like the government loves to do, the value of your money goes away, right? I went to McDonald's the other day and I got a Big Mac with extra sauce. It cost me $10 for the Big Mac meal. That used to be $3.99. You remember that? Actually, it used to be $2.99 back in the 90s. You remember that?
Gosh, what a price.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, freaking Big Mac. I don't know why I just had a craving for McDonald's.
$10 for a lunch.
Right? So think about that. The quality is significantly less over the last 20 years, but the price has tripled, right? And now the government's talking about inflation, right? So homes are a good thing to purchase during an inflationary market because you spend $300,000 on something, right? And then just because of the inflation, it's going to go up. Not to mention the amount of demand for the house. Lumber is triple what it used to be. You know what I'm saying? Corona's interrupted so many markets and so many companies, and the price of
stock is low.
Yeah, the price of materials is up, lumber's up. We wanted some stone just for our little place up here. The cost of that is up.
Wow.
Yeah. So if you're like, well, there's a housing bubble. No, there really isn't right now.
But it's good real estate today, isn't it?
Hey, they were saying housing bubble 2 years ago, and if you would have bought 2 years ago, you'd have another 30-40% more equity. So anyhow, I digress on that. So don't wait. Delay is the most expensive thing that you can do. So let's recap really fast.
It'll cost you.
Yes. So anyhow, let's recap really fast because I went way too long on this. But first off, conditional approval.
Yeah.
These are just 3 at the top, right?
Right.
Professional like Myra. Now, then later. That's it.
Yes. Quick. Do not sleep on it. And don't forget to comment below if you'd like a separate topic. If you would like a topic of interest for us to discuss. If you have any questions, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment. I have a few of these books. Don't take no for an answer. I'll get them to you if you comment below in the comments below. And everybody have a great weekend, right, David?
Yeah, happy Friday.
Yes, happy Friday. It's going to be a great open house weekend.
Woo!